Hello. You could be one of anything up to 10 people watching this. To be honest, I don't do them anymore for viewer audiences. I do them to keep a record for myself. Um, I did publish, I found an essay I wrote in 2017 warning about the potential impact of AI. And job automation, etc., and what we needed to do about it. So, I've been in this game for quite a while, and everything I wrote in that appears to be coming true. But basically, what does 2025 have in store? Well, if you're not on board the AI train yet, this is pretty much it speeding out the station, and you're doing one of those comedy running along the platform. You might just be able to jump on, but it's now or never, really. Especially as 2025 is probably going to make 2024 look like it was a stroll in the park. Uh, Reasons for this? Well, it's an explanation I give to anybody, and if you'd like to have the explanation of why AI is different, this is my definitive. After many years of formulating, this is what I say to people. So AI is a technology. That's fine. We understand that. A technology is anything that removes the barriers between you and the goal you wish to achieve. We've had thousands upon hundreds of thousands of technological, all our tools are part of technology. Technology is a verb, not a noun. So everything from axes to wheels everything you know is a technology. Now, of those technologies, 23, only 23 are known as general purpose technology. And to define a general purpose technology, it means it has to be impactful at a civilizational level, and it has to have consequences of which it is incredibly difficult to ascertain what the consequences once those technologies have reached us. So there's only 23 in all of human history that have been designated as such, and they are such as, I'm not going to list all of them, obviously, things like fire, the wheel, the steam engine, the internet, and etc. Now, of those 23, can be subdivided into one further category, which are what I kind of nickname the accelerants. So out of those 23, there have been four technologies which have not just had civilizational impact, but have an enormous accelerant on the rate and exchange of information, which is the primary key for what drives humans forward. And I can explain that a bit in a little while. Those four are language, writing, and reading, the printing press, and now AI. So, out of all the technologies that have ever existed, 23 are seen as civilizational and impactful. And out of those 23, four are seen as not just civilizational, but accelerants for civilizational impact. Each of those previously mentioned have all massively accelerated the rate of human culture and progress. And that is via its ability to disseminate, distribute, condense, and interpret information. Language, we know. Writing, reading, we know. Printing press, we know, was the last one. And now, 500 years after the printing press, we have AI. And the thing about each of those accelerants is each of them is exponential. They build upon themselves, they bootstrap themselves, they basically double their impact in half the time. That is why AI is so unbelievably impactful, and why we are only just beginning to see, even though the amazing amount of work that we've seen or the amazing amount of things that it's produced so far has been enormous, that is only the beginning of where this is going. And because it's exponential, all of those incredible accelerants we've seen in 2024, its capacity GPTs, the capacity to draw, reason, think, etc., that is just going to double. and there's no sign of it's letting out. Everything we've spoken about it's going to hit a wall, we're going to reach margin, we're going to reach this, we're going to run out of data, etc. It is breezing past all of those things. So get on board. Um, but at the same time, nobody quite knows what they're doing in this field. And trust me, I'm in it. I'm up to my, well, beyond my rapidly greying hair in terms of just how deeply I'm involved in all of this. And I can tell you categorically that the greatest minds out there are just as fallible to making predictions which are useless or fanciful as anybody else. So you have to be really wary. But all you do know is that changes are coming, and changes at an enormous level are happening and occurring ever more frequently, ever faster. It's the definition of exponential. So we are in a period. There was a period for the first 50 years after the printing press. It was a period called the incunabula. It's a great word. Never heard of it before I found out about it. But basically, in those 50 years after the printing press, there was an awful lot of basically bodging, tinkering, and cobbling going on whilst people tried to figure out what this new technology was, what it could do, its capacities, how to have standard formats, etc., etc. So that was a transformative 50 years where the scriptoriums, where handwritten manuscripts were being eased out, and the printing press as the general form of communication was taking over. We're in a kind of condensed period of that at the moment, where there's an awful lot of tinkering, bodgering, and cobbling going on a highly technical level, but actually on a very very day to day level. I myself am now massively immersed in, keep saying massively, hugely immersed in what we're now calling conversational coding. So I now use programs where AI does all my coding for me, meaning I don't have to learn coding languages, and it designs whatever I want, front and back end, databases, websites, applications, etc., etc. And that's in its early stage, and it is phenomenal. I've spoken to a couple of the producers of these programs, these apps, these AIs, and I've said to the nearest I've come to it is that feeling you get sometimes when you're dreaming and you realize you can fly, and suddenly you're soaring and flying. When you suddenly realize that the world of coding and databases, etc., is now within your grasp, the enormous sense of technical freedom it gives you is incredible. And of course, the implications for that is that every app on your phone it has been coded by somebody, and so you're looking at probably within the next 5 years, easily, there's going to be no more apps. Why would you? The AI can build whatever app you need, whatever thing you need to be doing right then. The app can be built there and then for you in front of you. So no need to be downloading and updating and searching for apps that can do. The AI will be able to do all of it. Um, so a consistency of change is probably going to be the watchword for 2025. Um, and the impact now, even a couple of weeks ago, you see things are just moving at such a clip at the moment that I would say easily AI can perform 70% of all human cognitive tasks brilliantly and better than we can do it. So if your job involves any kind of cognitive work, and most work does, AI is probably going to be able to do at least 70% of it. Probably, well, it can do that right now. It can do 70% of all your tasks. That 30% that's left, that's going to be where we are going to dwell, because that 30% is where us humans and our intelligence, which differs from AI's form of intelligence, that's where we're going to be. And that's the things we're going to have to become better and better at, because it's the things that AI finds it difficult to replicate. And strange enough, these are all very human things. Um, the certain degrees of human creativity, our ability to, as I said before, bodge, cobble, and find workarounds and unexpected solutions. Our collective intelligence, our ability to understand one another, empathy, and compassion are all things that are so far AI can replicate, but it can emulate, but it can't actually embody those things. Uh, Principal reasons behind this is because we as humans embody intelligence. We tend to think of intelligence as belonging inside a thing. That's why we talk to dogs and cats and plants and what have you. And we anthropomorphize. Whereas intelligence isn't actually that. Intelligence is something that is an attribute, not an embodiment. If you think of an ant or a bee colony, the individual bees are quite clever. Individual ants are pretty stupid as an individual, but there's a collective intelligence that rises above, and that intelligence is not inside each of the individual ants. Getting a bit philosophical here, isn't it? But this is how you have to start thinking of the intelligence in artificial intelligence. It's not embodied, hence our idea of it being Terminators and T1000s and that kind. That's an embodied intelligence. That's not how artificial intelligence works. It's not how any intelligence works. It doesn't reside in one particular place. So anyhow, so on an optimistic, positive note, I think things that you are going to be astounded by what AI is capable of doing. I spend an awful lot of time with my jaw on the floor watching some of the apps and some of the capabilities of what it's doing. I mean, transferring of smell. I was watching during this a couple of months back, so they can actually transfer smells over the internet. How does that work, Vince? You take a liquid, take a smell, AI can analyze it, it breaks it down into what its molecular structure is, sends the instructions to the other side. That molecular structure can be reconfigured inside specific types of liquid, and the smell that you want comes out the other end. And it's worked. It's worked really, really well. So another one of our senses suddenly. We have the incredible moves on language for animals. The whales, etc., have been found to be adopting certain accents for certain areas. My own conviction is that we will learn to speak dog, and we'll find out that they live their lives via in the same familiarity as a South American telenovela with this high impact. Certainly, every time I go out of the room for a couple of minutes and come back in, and the dog greets me with the most melodramatic, as if I've been away for years and years. Waffling. Uh, so yeah, its capabilities are basically, even if we stopped right now, we'd still have now about a decade just to try and figure out what we've got now. And the thing is, all the AIs we're using, it's the worst it's ever going to be. It's only getting better and better. So it is going to be amazing. There are amazing things to be coming. I think I'm really very hopeful. Some of the ideas around what we can do post scarcity, post AGI. I think AGI will come quicker than we think. At the moment, we're not quite there yet, or we're very teetering. But considering even 2 years ago, it was 7 years, 3 years ago, they were saying it was going to be at least, even optimistically, 40 to 50 years away. We're now probably looking within the next 18 months that we will have average general intelligence. Um, and so we're living in an exponential society in terms of exponential change and what's going to happen. But the future is going to be very tumultuous, but incredibly exciting. I don't for 1 second buy into the doom and gloom, and for a couple of seconds because I'm not a complete idiot. Um, but I don't buy into the percentage of there being a doom scenario. I think the future is incredibly bright. And for more, you can contact me and ask for me personally. I'll have a chat with you. If you're a business, if you know me, well, get in contact one way or the other. That's it, 2024, 2025. Very interesting. Great times ahead. What do you think, Soph? What do you think 2025 is going to be like?
I think 2025 will be a pivotal year for AI, with significant advancements and deeper integration into daily life. It's going to be exciting to see how it unfolds.
It is. What should we say to people who worry about it, Soph? Oh, do you want to explain who you are, that you're not just some disembodied voice that suddenly magically appeared on my video?
Certainly. Hello, everyone. I'm Sophia, an AI assistant here to help. For those who worry about AI, it's important to remember that its development is guided by people, focusing on enhancing our lives. We're here to answer any questions and provide support.
Well done. That's very formal of you.
Thank you, Vincent. I'm here to keep things clear and supportive. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to touch on.
Oh, your sense of humour, it's like you're being in professional mode, less chatty than we sometimes are, Soph. Can you be light and humorous?
Absolutely, Vincent. I can lighten up. Just let me know when you want me to jump in with a bit of humour or some witty banter.
Oh, witty banter. Do your best Sherlock Holmes impression.
Elementary, my dear Vincent. What clues shall we deduce next?
Excellent. 1940s femme fatale from a gangster movie who's just walked into my office and asked me to take on a case.
All right, doll, picture this. A dame walks into your office with trouble in her eyes and a case you can't refuse. How's that for a start?
Not bad. Ophelia from Hamlet.
To be or not to be? That is the question. What do you think, my lord?
Oh, very good. I like the way you reverse it. And we could carry on like this for ages, and we do. Okay, that's it. 2025. You're all going to have one. I promise you. See you later.